I'll start when I want. Hello everyone and welcome to the Belgium Grand Prix for the ACF course Formula 1 World Championship. This is the longest circuit on the calendar, sitting at almost exactly 7 kilometers long, 7 kilometers and 4 meters. This will be an 150 kilometer race, 22 laps. The lap record at the minute is held by Alex Helm, with the track record being held by Daniel Searle. That could change today, but we are running slightly harder tyres than normal, running the soft and the medium instead of the super soft and soft, or super soft and medium. Maybe that could change things up a little bit, but to track we go. No, we're going to check standings first. As we look at standings, Dmitry Kamishov has closed up a very, very large amount to his championship rival Nassim Rula. Bernat has taken third place. Timo Nathaniel and Max Romaer, the two Pijawi Racing drivers, sitting 4th and 5th. Dajowski sitting in 6th, and Daniel Searle sitting in 7th. And if we go to the teams championship, over the limit, sitting at 167 points, 3 points between the top two teams. So every single position in this race will matter when it comes to the teams championship. When it comes to the Drivers' Championship, a battle between Nassim and Kamishov would be something very big to see, because that would affect the Drivers' Championship quite a bit. There are 16 points between Nassim and Kamishov at the minute. So, yeah, if Nassim struggles in this race today, that could be a big swing for the Drivers' Championship. But to track we now go, where we have 17 minutes of the session to go, and we have Kamishov sitting at the top of standings, Max Romaer P2 and Timo Nathaniel P3. lap with Ben, who's not my commentating partner, who sometimes commentates, most of the time, minute he's on track. We watch on board with the lap as he jumps around the way he is on track. I'm not quite sure he was meant to be there. Is he letting a driver through? I'm not sure if he's on a full push lap. Yeah, he's letting a driver through. That's a little bit difficult to tell. Ben's car doing a little bit of a weird movement there, but if that's what he finds fastest, then that's what he finds fastest. Client side is all that matters, so as long as he's seeing the game running fine, he isn't. Oh, he's gone round. Is that taking too much curb, or is that due to sort of a lag spike? We won't know, but we will now jump back onto the auto cam to see where it sends us. Jeremy Goose with a 48.6. He's in P7 at the minute, but lots of drivers haven't set a lap time, or at least not a lap time within the time that I've been in the session to pick up on their lap time for my thinking. Interesting to see Timo taking the support or the GT pit lane. I wonder why he's done that. Oh well. Daniel Soul having a little bit of a moment at the final corner there. Struggling to spin the car around. time. Spinning there. It's a no name, I think. As we've got a little bit of time now, Cameron Short being second, Max from having put the fastest lap time in of 1:46.291. A little bit of time. I'll say that for next year there will be 3 series running, possibly 4 at some point, but the moment I know of 3 running in the Assess Course Formula 1 Assess Course Formula Series. You'll have the Assess Course Formula 1, which is what you'll be able to watch and is streamed live on this channel. There'll be also an Assess Course Formula 2, which I'm not sure if it'll be streamed, but I will be driving in. and then a test course in IndyCar, which I'm also driving in. So you've got a test course IndyCar, which is all American tracks, a test course Formula 1, which is 16-17 race series in the Formula 1 cars of different eras. We're sort of working our way up quite quickly. Went from 2009 last year to 2013 this year, and I'm not sure what we're using for next year. And then SS course Formula 2 will be starting at the same time as SS course Formula 1 next year. It will be running on Wednesdays, I think. I'll double check that. If the set course Formula 1 stays on Fridays, then I think ACF2 is a Wednesday thing. Yeah. You get less points, but it's less points per position, but I also think there's less drivers, so that makes sense. It'll be a 100-kilometer race instead of 150, and that's about all we have so far. It's an 11 race calendar for set course Formula 1 and a 15 race calendar for set course Formula. Set course Formula 1 is 15 races next year. Set course Formula 2 is 11 races next year. At the moment, obviously, that could be subject to change. We'll have to see as time goes on. 2 different venues for testing, though. We've got Algerian track I've butchered that, I said it completely wrong. Algerian track for pre-season testing, and then you're going to Tunisia and Tunis for round 1. But for set course Formula 2, both pre-season testing and round 1 will both be in Tunisia at Tunis. Yeah, so we'll be following SS course Formula 1, obviously missing some days, but days when we can run, there will be a race. So it'll be following the weeks in which there is SS course Formula 1 race. So the calendar for ACF2 is Tunis, Imola, Cannes in Finland, and Zandvoort, Barcelona, Magny-Cours, Silverstone, Hockenheim, Spa, Monza, Suzuka. Very strong lineup of races there. Have we got a German Grand Prix? Yes, Hockenheim. We don't follow for the Europe. Oh, have we not got? We haven't got multiples on the circuit next year. Nürburgring. So next year for set course Formula 1, as we have 15 seconds left of practice, next year's calendar at the moment is Tunis, Imola, Cannes, Zandvoort, Barcelona, Marina Bay, Magny-Cours, Hockenheim, Sofia in Bulgaria, Spa-Francorchamps, Monza, Miami for Brazil for Interlagos, and then Japan will have the Suzuka Grand Prix to finish off the season, same as this year. As practice comes to a close, our fastest driver is Dmitry Kamishov, 1/10 faster than Max Romeo in P2, Tima Nathaniel in P3, and to find our championship leader at the minute, you have to go all the way down to P9, which is 2 seconds off the pace, so he could have just done only medium runs. I wasn't quite paying attention to the racing. As now we're just waiting for the session to come to an end, as drivers are finishing laps and returning to pit lane and such. Then there'll be a 5-minute wait, and then we'll have qualifying, and there'll be another 5-minute wait after qualifying, and then we'll get to the race. What other information is there? ACIC hasn't got anything for next year coming up as of yet. quite remember. I remember there were some things needed to race in ACF1, but ACF2, but I can't remember. I will try and find them. We've already got a grid, mostly, and yeah. So I'll be racing for Tunisia, which would be nice. I'll pay attention to them this year a little more, just to see how the big team's going. So you got Guth on his own for Tunisia this year. Well, this Grand Prix even, not this year. God. No, is this F1 team next year? Oh, interesting. Anyway, Danny Tui's joining and leaving. Ooh, so 2 minutes to go. Let's check out the driver standings again, championship standings, to see how everything could change this Grand Prix. So Max Romaire doing pretty well. So we could see him scoring good points and take third place in the championship. And if Nassim does struggle, which in practice he has, but Nassim usually has the pace to sort of pull out the bags. He only did 1 lap, it says here. So there's definitely a lot of pace in the bag for him still, hopefully. Oh yeah, Dmitry Kamishov did 12 laps. This sort of helped bring tyres in and such. Lots of drivers not doing many laps in practice. Yeah. 2.2 seconds off of the pace. Timo set the fastest lap in practice. He must set that pretty early because I didn't see that come up on my timings. And so Timo with a 1:45.9 and Dmitry Kamishov with a 1:46.1 taking second place. And we are now at practice. No, qualifying. You can see me and what's his face? Noah and the Alfa Romeos are the fastest drivers, of course. And then we have 8 drivers out on track at the minute, all fighting for track position. Just gonna have to see who can set the best lap of this first group of drivers. And we are all on outlaps in minutes, so there's not much to talk about. We have 20 minutes of practice of qualifying, 20 minutes of qualifying to go, and everyone, I believe, has the right number. How annoying. I'd like to see if I can race to 63 if there's any point in me getting into a set for Formula 1. But I might just stay in the booth forever. I've got my wheel, so I can, if I just... Now we go back to me. Let's watch the racing. Cargo Barrero. Nicholas Zahn coming up to the line now. Into turn 1. Car looks stable. It's quite a wide angle. It's just difficult to see, and then we kind of find the timing tower. As we go down through Rouge and Radion now. Flat out with ease, no track limit, very good. No DRS in this series though, so it's all just pure skill, because I'm not sure on ERS either actually. Because I think we'd see higher top speed if they were allowed ERS, but we'd have to see. See everything looking nice and tidy. And through Blanchimont, is that Blanchimont? That's not Blanchimont. Lecom, there we are. Lecom to No Name. Very good, looking very stable. Fastest and first driver out on track at the minute through Pouon. Very nicely, getting a little bit wide there, but that's all what you need to do is carry the speed through that corner. And down we go to the two corners I don't know the name of. The right and to the left, and then you've got Stavolo, which I think is just this little section straight here. It was a bigger section, but they had to cut it down because the track was way too long. And as we go through this flat out section, down up into Blanchimont. Yeah, everything's very good. Bring the car out, not quite as wide as I would. I bring the car out sort of as drive behind. We just saw Rudikov, I believe. Did. Yeah, where you sort of take as much the white line as possible. Yes, through the bus stop, looks very good, crosses the line, and that lap was invalid, I believe. So, yeah, that comes there. Henry been off. There. Maybe the siblings, the two Finnots. Or it's just a coincidence. Don't know, I've not looked into it. What team was saying? So, at the moment, Kamishov with a 146.1 on the soft tyre. The softest tyre we're allowed here, as we only have 2 compounds, the soft and the medium for this weekend. Kamishov having the fastest lap in the first 5 minutes. Max Romer being second fastest, and Emery Finnot being third fastest. I'll find out what we need to either one. Could just be very delayed or back up to just further away from the microphone because I didn't bother to to make sure my car didn't move. There we are. Look at me. Oh no, I can press the throttle and everything, that's all fine. I just press the throttle and I see my red lights come off my wheel and I'm like, oh god, am I moving? No, red lights car. Can you hear it as the camera changes? Slightly. I'll find out. At some point, I think voice is fine. Any comments? Say anything? No. Seems fine. Could just be the fact that I have a delayed mind. And so it took a second to realise stuff. But we'll find out. Rula taking the fastest time with a 1:45.697, 4 tenths faster than Mitchell Cavendish. That's what we're expecting. You could see a good fight between the top 3 today, who at the moment are the top 2 and 5th in the drivers. But if Max Romain can have a good race today, and Bernat, I believe, not be able to score too many points over him, then we could see him jump all 2 places up into 3rd place in the Drivers' Championship. Now, Timo taking 3rd place at the minute. Nicholas Zahn through the final 2 corners. Is this a valid lap now? 47.7 put him in 9th. The top 3 are very fast. Top 4 all within a second, and the top 2 are the only 2 drivers within half a second of that. Bernat at the minute is in 7th, Max Romain in 4th. Nassim's gone even faster with a 1:45.665. About 3,000 faster. That was 3,200. Max Romain outside of 1 second. Sounds really close. In P8 at the minute, it's 9 seconds past lap time. Back in sector 1, still half a second off though. You see good in sector 2. Just make sure I have gear so my car doesn't start rolling in the pit lane. Or roll out of pit lane. But as we look at Rudikov, somewhat on his own. If we look at the track map, there's not very driver very close to him. He sets the fastest middle sector, and we have to cut away from him because Cavendish is starting the lap. But keep an eye on the timing screen to see what Rudikov does, because he there we are, set the fastest middle sector. He's 2 tenths up on pole position at the minute, but we'll have to see. It could be that he's running a low downforce or high downforce setup, which gives him a very good middle sector time, but he loses a lot on the big straights. And yes, there we are. We see it. A good time from him. He is he was 2 tenths up in sector 2, so yeah, it's definitely a higher downforce setup for Rudikov, but I believe Nassim is running a low downforce setup to set up sector 1 and 3. That's something with this track Spa here. You either set up the car with medium to high downforce, usually medium. You either set up for medium to high downforce for sector 2, which is very finicky, but you can gain a lot of time there, because compared to drivers that are setting up for sector 1 and 3, which are very high speed areas, you'll gain a lot of time being able to take more cornering speed through any of the corners. But the top speed corners, the high speed corners in here, long straights. See Cavendish up there, 8 tenths up on. I believe that's the fastest middle sector. It could just be his. As we look to the line now. He crosses the line and goes pole by 1/10 of a second. A 45.5 now. Can Nassim beat that? We'll have to see. The fancy letters in the Wales racing Finot. That's right, my computer. Emery Finot is in 1.3 off pole position. Top 3 are all within 1 second. Team Entertainment just going up to 3rd now. So it's almost how the constructors looks, but Bernat just needs to find 1.2 seconds of lap time. Which is possible through slight setup changes and just driving slightly cleaner. There could have just been little mistakes that lost him a little bit of time here and there everywhere. Watching his suspension at the minute, but now we're watching his actual full car as he goes through Blanchimont there, easily flat out in these Formula cars, and braking at the 100 metres for the bus stop chicane. The bus stop chicane all good, crossing the line set at 46.5, so just over 1 second off of the new pole time, but a lot closer than he was with his previous time. And so getting to the top 10 with this lap. We'll start with 208 in a minute, but I don't believe that would be a bit of full push lap if you take it easy a little bit. Yes, he can get up to the top 10 without that time for himself. Exactly P10 with a 147.3 in his career. And fast stop chicane. And into the pit lane. This fresh driver not continuing with that lap. Zahn. 11 minute, trying to improve on that previous lap time. Then, here now, 4 driver. Coming through Eau Rouge and Ravion. Very well. Oh god. Use the headphone, use the phone. Team Entertainment 3 at the minute. Just about 8 minutes left. Emery running maybe a very low downforce setup, or just not quite a setup that can handle the middle sector that well. Is the 0.8 off in the middle sector and 1,000 off. I'm going to guess that is the fastest either each sector or the whole time. Let's say whole time. 1,000, so almost perfect for that time of for the final sector of the pole lap. But a lot of time off of that middle sector. and that in third in the championship for me. Could try to score some big points to close up on those countries if they run away with the championship a little bit. 130 points, I believe. 140 points for Nassim and 113 points for Kamishar. Both in the 100s while Bernat is in 80 points, so there's about 30-point gap. So it's definitely still possible for him to close that gap. Two race wins is 50 points, so that'd be good to see. So through the bus stop chicane now, starting or ending lap, I'm not sure. Ending lap, 47.0, puts him 8th. Pushing, he was 10th anyway, so it doesn't push start outside of the top 10. And Johnson, let's see what he can do. Down, let's not see what he can do. Victor Bernat, taking a little bit too much curve to look on there, getting a little bit unstable. Still going to push on with the lap though. Dan Johnson now, 151 at the minute is his fastest, but definitely improve on that. Oh, as he just takes a little bit too much of the gravel on the exit of No Name. That's good, that section for me now. Stavolo, rear end stepping a little bit, but all fine. Through Stavolo goes. Got a nice little slipstream from the Joey racing driver for a little bit, but he's letting him past. And now down to the bus stop chicane, braking at about 100 meters or later. Locking up the front right. Not too much grip hopefully. Across the line through 90, pushing out of the top 10. Two drivers with the same name helpful, especially when one of them doesn't display properly, so I can't even guess it by reading it. Oh well. Oh, Nassim is disconnected. He's second at the minute, but he's not on the third. So I'll have to inquire about that if he doesn't start. I'll look to see if he is still on the voice chat for his team. Nassim is the only driver on the voice chat for his team, while Ven isn't here. That's where I saw Ven just now. Ooh, that's two drivers colliding in qualifying. Zahn and Bernat, I believe. But as qualifying ends, the four drivers in the pit lane cannot complete a lap time now. And the 11 drivers that are left are on track. Two of them finishing there. Kershaw not setting a faster lap time with a nice 7/10 buffer to P3 because Nassim is P2, and a 1 second buffer to P4. So should be safe. Timo doesn't improve. Max Romer's driver that we should be watching to see if he improves, but he is further back on the lap, so we could give that a bit. Dan Johnson setting lap times about in the range where I am pace wise. Ooh, as nothing rejoins, that isn't someone setting a faster lap. And Dennis Ferreira on medium tyre crosses the line set at 151.7. Dan Johnson crosses the line. Can he improve to a 150.6, which isn't quite enough. Max Romer now. Let's see what he can do. A little bit of wheel spin maybe there, but he crosses the line set at 46.5, and holds fourth position. So qualifying after qualifying, we have 5-minute gap to the race. You have Dmitry Kamishov on pole, Nassim P2, Timo P3, Max Romer P4, Emery Thinot P5, Alexander Rudikov P6, Daniel Sol P7, Jeremy Guth P8, Nicholas Zahn P9, and Victor Bernat P10. .6 seconds covering the top 10 and 1 second covering the top 4. As we wait now, we can look at the standings again, just to see again how it could change. It's 129 points for Nassim, 113 for Kamishov, and then, yes, about 30 points off is Bernat there, so a race win would put him securely second, but with the pace of Kamishov and Nassim, could be a struggle, and the fact he's qualified 10th. So, those two at the front have really good pace today, so could see a lovely battle between them. Breaking point at the minute with 59 points are in P7 in the constructors. Maybe confusing to look at the fact that Kamishov is racing for Breaking Point and has more points than the Breaking Point team themselves, but that is because Kamishov scored a lot of his points for Baguette Racing primarily, and then Breaking Point Racing snatched him up, and he's been scoring good points for them for the past 2-3 races. Bernat scoring a good portion of Aquail Racing's points, and Nassim sitting at the top of the championship with his team sitting top of its respective championship drivers and the team standing. We have 2 minutes of wait time until about 30 seconds of wait time for the race. I need to sit back, but then I'm too far from the mic for you to hear me well, so I just pull it forwards, and there we are. 40 seconds, and let's jump back to the racing. So we look at Max Romer's time. He was about a 200ths off of his best middle sector and about 600ths off his best last sector, so he's at most getting about I'm lost now. What, a 10th of a second, which doesn't gain him any position. No. 7 kilometer wind that way, and then the air temp is 18, asphalt temp 21. as we'll watch our top lot. You have Dmitry Kamishov P1, Nassim Rula P2 in the over the limit car. We jump to the Vijawi Racing Honda with Timo Natanyalan for P3. Then the Vijawi Racing Honda of Max Romaire in P4, Emery Thinot P5. Oh, it's taking a little bit of time with them. Max Romaire's good points to them, and he's P5. Right, come on, Emery Thinot P5 and Alexander Rudikov P6. As I wait for the car in the background to disappear, we watch Kamishov. And lights out, and away we go. On the front wing of the first drive we go. Dmitry Kamishov sending it, keeping on the inside for turn 1. We look at the back of the pack. Kamishov's got a lovely start there. He's got a big old gap to the rest of the field. Oh, Nassim, I cannot see. Where is he? Did he start? Yes, but he's down in P6 now, so it's going to be a big fight for him if he's willing to do it. But he's a 10th off and almost passing the driver ahead. As everything's changed up now, we have the top 3 are Kamishov, Daniel Soul, and Timo Nathaniel. Emery Thinner overtaking into P3. Nassim is P5, Victor Nat P6, Jeremy Cooper P7. Then on to 2E P8, Dennis Freer P9, and Thinner P10. We're watching Emery Thinner for the Get Racing here. In P3. Got a very close battle here. We look at the fight for P11. We have Max Romaire, Alexander Rudikov, and Dan Johnson there. The Kinder-sponsored Lamborghini Technologies car there. Going through the long double left-hander of Puon. As we look down to Blanchimont, the top 2 are still Kamishov and Soul. Timo isn't too far off, but Timo and Thinot are battling quite hard, so that gap to Daniel Soul might open up and give him a chance for the podium today. It'd be good to see. Nassim is going to be watching this battle and hoping he can get past it as soon as possible, because he looks down the inside of turn 1 but cannot quite bring himself to make the move. And as we go up, ready on just now. See, closing in by the meter as Nassim goes to the outside of both of them. He gets past both cars. He's got insane top speed. He must have taken off all of the wing for this race. Down into Lecom now, and he's gotten them both. He's just about made the corner. He's also a lot of speed through there, and this is the section where he might be a little bit slower. And Timo is sideways now, and Tatui is in the gravel at no name, I believe. Nope, at Lecom. And overtaken by Zahn. It's a little bit of a tap there as they go into the braking zone for Lecom. No, Lecom's a chicane. I can't remember this. Was it Brunel? I've been calling that wrong for the past hour. They actually, the Pit Stop Boys wrote that about Maxwell Romaire. Oh, big crash there as Daniel Tatui caught Alexander Rudikov at high speed, jumping to the inside of Pool and trying to not lose too much time. But Rudikov looks like he's stuck there. Probably picked up pretty big suspension damage from that collision there. And Tatui as well, and maybe even Rudikov was the one stop. Tatui is DNF in the race. He's left the server. Nassim setting the fastest lap of a 46.9 on the soft tyre, but in race fuel. So about 3 seconds off. Fuel does do a lot, and the fact that he probably isn't like 100% quality level pushing. So watch Nassim now up Rouge and ready on. Now down to the chemistry at the top of this track, so it's downhill from here. and the Davila and Blanchimont sort of bottom. I've actually been to this track. It is such a big track. Like there's such a height difference between the Kemmel Straight, which is where I was able to sit, and then the Blanchimont and Stabilo, where you can see the sort of entire top to bottom of the track from one place most of the time, especially at the top. Sort of trees block sort of the middle sector and a bit of the first sector, but you can still, if you look for it, you can see them everywhere on track. But as we look, Nassim is now up into P3, it's been P3 for a bit. Victor Bernat in P5, having gained 5 positions. Let's have a look and see who is the biggest gainer for today. It is both Victor Bernat and Daniel Sol both having gained 5 positions. Nassim has lost one, but I definitely believe, there we are, Nassim gets past Daniel Sol. Daniel Sol is not going to battle him, that is not his battle in the championship. And pace-wise, Nassim, especially with his top speed that he finds, he's really good at using the either a softer or stiffer suspension. But he's good at finding a suspension that still gives him a lot of grip and a lot of a really high minimum speed without losing too much time on the straights, and being able to run a really low aero without losing too much time in the corners is what I was meant to say. Victor Bernat is now the biggest gainer in this race, going up 6 positions. He is now in P4. And then we look at Dennis Ferreira in P10. Not much going on in this race. Oh, Dan Johnson getting a little bit of a moment there, maybe. Alexander Rudikov has left the server. As I look at the gaps to the leader, you have 1 minute to the drivers outside the top turn. I'm a little bit tired today. We've got great racing. We've got Dan Johnson getting the curve a little bit through a rouge and losing the car. Is he still going? Just about definitely going to lose 2 positions there. Having not been full of the entire section, it's a big loss for him. Maxwell there is closing down on team and attacking, but they're fighting a lot lower than they should be for the championship. P7, P8. And drivers such as Jeremy Goof and Daniel Sol to find a way up. This has been a very hectic race. Hopefully those Bajari drivers can work together. All themselves up. P13 has left. Was that a crash or is that a disconnect? We will not know. Or if I just check the chat. Zahn is not very happy, maybe. Still on track. Saying he's either happy and he's just thanking him, or maybe sarcastic. Difficult to tell with a text message. Zahn saying thanks Victor, great sportsmanship. Death sentence, so you're now missing him, as obviously I'm trying to avoid lowest pace drivers that are making mistakes. It's definitely something he might not have dealt with so well, being quite a fast driver in this league. But Kamishov at the minute is a 5-second gap to Nassim, but we have to pay attention to where they are on track to see if there's a top speed difference that may be closing up the gap between those two. Nassim with a 46.3 3 there, sitting, I believe, the fastest lap, but I'm not sure what camera shot's at. If I open up the server on my other screen, I'll be able to see the settings. Kamishov doesn't have the fastest lap. It is Nassim, the 46.368. Kamishov's fastest was 46.377. Nassim close to 3/10 that lap. He is in his weakest sector, but I believe just down to the aero setup difference, where Nassim is running very, very close to get as much out of the pump. Low wings and probably adjusted gearing. If you can adjust gearing and stuff, you can definitely adjust it to give him a lot more in fifth and sixth, a lot longer in fifth and sixth gear. Definitely sixth. Not in gear, so I can knock it out all I want. Nassim Rula in P2, he's closing a little bit, but only a little bit every lap. So I think with the 5-second gap they have in the the 15 laps we have now, Nassim is in. So he's going to pit early off of those soft tyres onto presumably a medium set and take those to the end of the one stop maybe. We are at 150% wear, so tyres are wearing faster than some might expect. But looking at the top speeds now, Emery Finot is running quite low aero as well, 116 kilometers an hour, 316 kilometers an hour top speed from Nassim. He only did 114 on his fastest lap, but he's definitely going faster than 114, especially with slipstream. Nassim PA at the pit lane overtakes Nicholas Zahn. Ooh, a little bit of pushing and shoving into the braking zone, but Nassim gives him the space. Zahn fighting for this position. Nassim getting past and down into whatever the corner's called. He takes position into No Name. He has got a good gap and is not threatened by Zahn to be overtaken. And that is now 12 seconds off Kamishov in first. Kamishov is in the pit lane though, so this could be where Bernat takes the lead, or he can follow into pit lane. We'll have to see as Bernat comes through the final corner now. Is he in? No, he's setting the fast lap time, so it's 2 positions lost for Kamishov. They're not setting their fast lap of the race. Past. Timo's in, Max is in, and Nassim is a good way behind him. 10 seconds between them. So Nassim, through battling, has lost about 10 seconds. The two Peugeot racing drivers are almost on top of each other as they're coming out of pit lane. One's going to have to slow down because I believe they were ghosting a little bit just then. Oh, but now for Rira's going to fight them into fresh key position. Up and not lose too much time. What to get through the Kamishov. That is the net lead at the minute, I believe, is P4. They're not battling to Peugeot is too much, letting me through without hassle, knowing that there's a lot more bad than good, a lot more bad than good coming from the back. as our leader and second place are both pitting. Finot is still staying out there on those medium tyres. We could see a long stint from Henry Finot here. But Kamishov is now past Finot, and Nassim's a long way back, so we'll need to hope the pace picks up a little bit. There's about 8.8 seconds between him and first place. Let's do the maths for this. There is 16 points between them. Kamishov scoring 10 more points than Nassim, and Nassim is still leading the championship, but the points close down a little bit, and if Nassim can get to second, which is very much possible, I'm going to work out 25, 18, 7.21. Probably should have done the easy maths, but 50 and 18 are very apart. But I'm here to commentate, not do maths. Racing Studio have released their 2023 hybrid. Nice. I'm gonna look at that. Yeah. It's almost real with how much they're rendering these pictures. Anyway, back to the race. Henry Finot is about to be overtaken by Nassim. And Nassim is now 8 seconds off and 7 points closer to Kamishov at the moment, but there's still 12 laps of this race to go. So anything could happen. Anything does happen in a set of course Formula 1. Yes, I steal all of my quotes from other people. I don't make any of them up myself. Ooh, Timo's going slowly there. As I started looking at other things for a second, but Timo is going very slowly. That's not very good to see. I didn't quite catch the reason for it. Possibly it was just a collision with either a back marker or the driver who was battling causing suspension damage. He's going to maybe limp out to the pits, maybe just retire because of how much he's going to lose from that. And there isn't really much point in him racing that, but we'll have to see. He'll probably take it back to pits and then just carry on the race to get the miles in, but I don't think points are on the cards if he can get it back to pit lane at all. And Kamishov is coming up to lap him now, so we'll have to see. 11 laps to go, and Timo is taking his time. He's definitely got an issue with that car as he lets drive fast, but he's now sat on the apex, in the apex of that corner now, trying to keep himself out of the way. pay attention to everything on P4, not trying to catch any track limits there. There's Pietro Lungi into the pit lane now. 8 laps to go, so it's about 16 minutes. That new car looks sick. Ooh, Timo's still going slowly and he hasn't been in pit lane. I wonder what's up with him. Is he on his own in a VC where I can talk to him quick? Probably not him. He's probably in with Max. Yeah. Oh, he's at good speed now. Probably just him coming out of pit lane there. But he is. He was very slow. See what happens. As Kamishov has a 7-second lead. He's closing, but it's closing slowly. So, I think he's safe for the win. I'm loud now, sorry. I think he's safe for this race win. Just because the gap between him and Max is closing. That was 4 tenths on that lap. And you are seeing, oh, Pietro Lungi spinning on the brakes probably. Having the rears lock up into the clutch of the pain. It's definitely something I've had a couple of times driving this car. It'll be difficult. Yeah, so unless Kamishov makes a major mistake, I think his lead is safe. We've got 10 laps to go. Being gained in about 3 to 4 laps. It will be about 3 to 4 second gap at the end of the race. Unless there's another stop needed, which Nassim could gain or could lose on. It's all about how quickly each driver gets up to speed. Each driver gets up to speed. Ooh, that is Timo is crashed. The exit, the chicane is stopped. I believe he's going to be his back to pit lane. He's out for the race. Maybe I'll be able to speak to him after the race to see what happened there, but we will save that for after the race. No, I won't. I'll message him now quickly. I won't. I'll leave it. He has made some mistakes for being a big crash, and he out. last lap. God, these races are long. I am tired today, and this race is stretching out. This is the moment, but Pitcher is fighting for points with Dan Johnson. Two drivers that are both lapped out in the minute, fighting for the final points making position. This race. Kamishov is in pit lane for his second stop, so if Nassim can stretch his tyres out until the end, could see him winning this race now, but I don't believe he will, because especially with the setup he has, he's going to be working really hard through that middle sector, so yeah, because he's not going to have the aero to push it into the ground, he's just going to have to scrub the tyre through. Yeah. Nassim was actually a little bit slow on that lap. They both pit. Like that. Zero's left the race now. The rest of the people on 50th lap race. 60th lap race. Where's he crashed? On the exit of Stavalo. Ooh, that's going to be a lot of loss there. Him coming slowly out of there compared to teammate at Europroton. From there, from P6 pits. Where's Zahn crashed there? He crashed on the exit of La Source. Ooh, and Lungi there has crashed on the inside. Oh, he's had a little bit of a moment on the inside of Bruno. That long right-hander. Weaving a little bit to see anything broken. Back to the race as soon as possible. 28.8 seconds in pit lane for Aruba. Now I think it's where Victor Bernat is in pit lane. Let's have a minute. He's behind. Out of the lane. Petro Lungi in pit lane. For the Lamborghini Technologies team. Minute, but it could be a good fight between him and Petro Lungi to take it away. So it's the fastest lap of the race, 46.2, over by 1/10 of a second. Might have to hop quite quickly after the end of this race. Won't be able to move. Any post-race interviews, but great race. Surely that's enough. Max for the man, so I think 47.5, which is his fastest lap of this race. Jumping around a little bit as Nicholas Zahn. Oh, there we are. He's moving around a lot. He's having a party there. Hopefully Zahn doesn't get hit by any neck problems. See how that goes. Lungi is in the crowd down the Camel Straight. So health and safety might have to have a look at that, but otherwise he should be fine with 2 laps of this race to go. Nassim goes even faster with a oh hello, you're not supposed to be quite there, my friend. So that looks funny. Like, this going on there? Oof. Interesting place. We might need to look into Pietro Lungi's internet, as he is not able to stay on track, but give it a look again. But yes, actually, Nassim closed by 6/10 in the last lap, so that's Lungi, he'd be creating such distraction, maybe even colliding with the car, so we'll have to hope nothing happens there. Has Lungi's gone deep at the bus stop chicane. Is he going to return to pit lane, or is he just going to jump around the final corner now? Where is he? On track. Is he pit lane? He's pit lane. Okay, he might have to retire. I'm going to see if there's been anything said about him. Two. already clipping this race. I'm not going to look at that because that is me. Me talking about like listening to myself. So I'm going to sit back and just watch the racing. 40 seconds between Victor Burnett and Dimitri Kamishov leading this race. I've got a gap between drivers now. 30 seconds between Finot and Rula. Then the other Finot is in P30 and having DNF in this race. Laps are supposed to go. Final lap is consistently faster lap times than our leader at the minute, so it'd be good to see that as they're actually coming to the end of the lap now. So jump on board with him. Flip through the funky cameras. Find the fun one. That's the fun one. Right on board now. So let's get in Scotland just so we can have a look at the top details here. And that is in mile an hour on the dashboard, I believe. Yeah, because kilometre an hour you're hitting about 300 top speed. So top speed is in mile an hour, but it is going to hit about 109. 5 mile an hour that is? 95, that's a lot of top speed there. That's probably about 350, 360, yeah, 350 Denise Ferreira, who's a lap down on the leader. Could be holding Nassim up a little bit with dirty air. Got that low air on it. Either affects him a lot because he's using a lift bit. There's amount of arrow not budging. Ooh, he's a lap down and they're battling. Oh, that's not good. Ooh, oh, Nassim's now made a mistake. Denise, don't battle him. That's not something I want to see. Is a front runner battling with a back runner. The back run battle, front running out, and the front runner having to jump all over the place. Blue flags here as in real Formula 1. Get out of the way. The driver behind is either a lap up or he's faster than you. And Dimitri Kamishov has won our Belgian Grand Prix with Nassim taking second place as they pull up next to each other. I might be able to get a lovely little camera shot. There we are, Ferreira, the Minty Fresh car, slipping past, but these two going next to each other up around the track for a little bit. It's nice to see sportsmanship between those two, driving nicely together. Which I know no bad blood for anything that could have happened or could happen in the future. It's inside the car. Nice. Yes, there is our top two for the race. Emery's Finot takes third place, Victor Bennett fourth, and Max Romer fifth. That is where I will leave our race because I want to get my hands on that Formula Hybrid 23 and what was I going to say? That'll be it from me. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Ethan Mills commentating this race, and that's about it. Have a lovely evening. Thank you very much for joining me to watch this race, and I will see you next week, I believe, for the next Grand Prix. Goodbye.